Think about the last time you tried to learn a new language. It usually feels like being dropped in the middle of a chaotic, like, six-lane intersection. Cars are zooming by, horns are blaring.
Right, yeah. And you're just trying to cross the street without causing a massive accident. The cognitive overload is just massive. You're trying to process vocabulary and, you know, grammar and native accents all at once.
Exactly. But what if the secret to surviving that intersection isn't learning all the traffic laws, but just knowing how to, well, walk in a straight line?
So, welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at a really fascinating stack of sources today.
Yeah, we have a recent linguistics research paper and a highly specialized ESL instructor's manual.
Right. And our mission today is to unpack this educational framework that's designed to help absolute beginners conquer their fear of dining out in English.
Which is very specific, but looking at the manual, this framework specifically targets the A1 language level. Since we're dealing with that ground floor stage, the primary goal here is stripped down to the absolute essentials.
It's just the absolute basics. Exactly. It's empowering you to confidently ask for a table, order your favorite food, and request the bill. I mean, that is the entire scope of the mission.
Well, I noticed in the instructor guidelines that this framework strictly forbids any complex restaurant jargon or metaphors, like no idioms at all.
Yeah.
But here's where I have to push back a little bit on the
That's
methodology.
sure. What did you find?
Well, the manual also requires instructors to speak, and I quote, extremely slowly with long, deliberate pauses. Like, doesn't that risk sounding completely unnatural? Are we just turning teachers into friendly robots?
I mean, if you isolate just the casing, it does sound a bit mechanical, but the linguistics paper really emphasizes the psychology behind the delivery. The framework explicitly pairs this exaggerated slow speed with a tone that is intentionally warm, patient, and, highly encouraging.
Okay, so they're compensating for the speed.
Right. The instructor uses natural conversational prompts, like they might gently say, my friend, just to change the dynamic.
I see. So you're essentially neutralizing the awkwardness of the slow speed with, well, extreme emotional warmth.
Exactly. It creates this intentionally safe environment that just completely removes the fear factor. The slow speed ensures comprehension, right? And the warmth ensures the learner feels supported rather than patronized. It's really a carefully engineered psychological safe space.
Sure. But a warm tone helps when you're practicing in a classroom. Doesn't the learner eventually crash when they leave this padded room and face a real fast-talking waiter in, like, downtown London or New York?
Well, that's the exact hurdle the framework anticipates. It prepares the learner for that reality, not by teaching them to understand everything the fast talking waiter says.
Wait, then how do they do it?
By anchoring the learner's own output, you're bridging that gap without overwhelming them again through the framework's strict reliance on repetition.
Ah, right. Because the manual leans heavily into drilling specific survival phrases. It loops things like, can I see the menu, please? And the bill, please, just over and over.
Yeah, repeating these exact phrases multiple times is a deliberate tactic. It's called cognitive load displacement.
Cognitive load displacement. Okay.
Right. By looping these specific phrases over and over, the brain stops treating the English words as a math equation to be solved.
It's like using keyboard shortcuts on your computer.
Right.
Instead of navigating through 5 different menus to save a file, you just hit Ctrl S without thinking. This framework essentially turns "Can I have the bill" into a mental keyboard shortcut.
That is a perfect analogy. Mechanistically, you are outsourcing the brain's processing power from active translation to just social enjoyment.
So you can actually relax.
Exactly. When you don't have to consciously think about the mechanics of asking for the bill, you can sit back and focus on the dining experience itself. You don't need to understand the waiter's entire rapid-fire specials menu. You just need your keyboard shortcut to ask for the standard menu.
Listening to this, I'm realizing this isn't just about ordering a coffee or a plate of pasta. Like, this is a blueprint for tackling any high-stress scenario.
It really is.
Building confidence in a scary, unfamiliar environment doesn't require a massive, complex toolkit. It just requires mastering a few functional tools in a supportive, jargon-free setting.
And this A1 approach applies so broadly to your own life. Like, If you want to master something daunting, intentionally limit your scope. Focus only on the absolute basics.
Just keep it simple.
Yeah, and use repetition to displace that cognitive load.
Yeah.
You build unshakable confidence before you ever try to navigate the deep end.
It brings us right back to that chaotic intersection we started with.
Yeah.
You don't need to understand how the traffic lights are wired to safely cross the street. You just need to know when to step off the curb.
Exactly. Just take that first step.
Which leaves you with this to ponder. If mastering just 2 or 3 simple phrases can completely eliminate the fear of navigating a restaurant in a foreign language, what other intimidating high-stress situations in your daily life could be entirely diffused by having a simple pre-rehearsed script?